let's see the results of the poll. Okay. Alright. Sorry, one person who didn't want me to. I mean, I feel you, but duty calls. Hoorah! Hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel. So today's video was a little iffy for me because, as you saw in the intro, I wasn't very confident about the result, the finished illustration of this video. And so I put a poll on Twitter asking you guys if it was okay to make the video with it or if I should remake it. And I got like 8 votes, which to be honest is more than I thought, but yeah. I normally don't ask you guys about whether or not I should upload a video or not. I usually just decide by myself, and usually if I'm not happy, if I'm not completely happy with my drawing, I will just remake it and redo it. But this time, the reason why I asked is because it's December, aka lose your head trying to come up with gift ideas and crafting all month for, you know, Christmas. That's December for me, really. But so I'm very busy this month, and yeah, if I didn't use this video, as I said in the tweet below that poll tweet, if I did keep this illustration, it meant that I could get the video up pretty soon, but if I had to remake it, it would take longer. I may have to have skipped uploading this week and upload next week. And so I put the poll there, and if people really did vote for me to remake it, I would have not posted this week. I would have just remade it. But because the poll said that it's fine, go for it, I decided, okay, let's just do it, even though I'm not totally happy with it. But I decided to kind of do something in between. So it's not the exact video that I was planning on doing, where I was going to show and teach people how to blend colored pencil, but rather it's going to be more of a narrated speed paint, and where I'm going to just tell you guys what I did and what I used, and the product that I used to blend colored pencil, and that can hopefully help you. And in the future, when I make a drawing that I do like, I can make the actual more tutorial where I discuss more of the techniques and stuff, because I don't feel totally qualified to be telling people, teaching people how to blend a colored pencil when I wasn't even happy with my own results. So I'm just going to keep it as a speed paint. So I wanted to make this video for some time now, ever since I uploaded that Prismacolor pencil review video. In that video, I didn't blend the colored pencil, and I mentioned that there are products out there that you can use to actually blend colored pencil together, and I said that I would make a video telling you guys how that went once I actually tried it out. And so here we are. And I did try it out. I tried it out before this video actually, and I'll have the pop-up of that drawing, which I posted on social media. And that one I actually quite liked, but of course I didn't videotape it. You know, because that's how art goes. I mean, I'm sure my fellow YouTubers can relate to this. You know, drawing a drawing that you like and it's not videotaped, and then you videotape a drawing and it comes out like less than stellar. YouTube artist problems, yes. So anyway, as for this drawing, this started out as just another random sketchbook drawing. I like to put pencil to paper every day, or night rather. I've been drawing very late recently. But yeah, so there wasn't really much thought into her design, other than that I kind of wanted to draw something that would look more character-like, something a little strange, maybe a little dark. And so I sketched up this woman who has like a blindfold, and then she has a scar on her cheek, and she has like the short hair and the neck mask, which her overall design kind of reminds me of a shinobi. Naruto shinobi. But yeah, after I sketched it out in my sketchbook, I took out my quill pen and I started inking it out, but you guys are seeing it firsthand, the death of my quill pen. Tiny violins, please. It's not really dead, it's just that the nib that I used, that my favorite nib that did all of my Inktober drawings and did most of my Inktober drawings from last year even, has gone through a lot of abuse, a lot of use, and it's time for it to retire. It has served me well, and yeah, it wasn't happening. I was trying to do the hair and it was just getting clogged every 2 seconds and it was not working, and so I have to retire it. Sad face. I have to get more of those nibs now, but for now I had to use a different nib, and so, you know, bye bye my line weight variation because the nib that I had in my other quill pen isn't very bouncy. It doesn't vary in its line width very much, and it's also because I haven't used it much at all, it's very scratchy, so I was really afraid of scratching the paper if I pushed down too hard. So yeah, and I wasn't really used to using it, so it was strange for me. So after all the line work was done, I erased the pencil sketch and started with the Prismacolor pencils once again. And by now you're probably like, Zaccura, just tell me what you used to blend your colored pencils, darn it. Okay, I used, drum roll, baby oil. Yes, I used baby oil with a Q-tip to blend it out. And no, I'm not a genius. I didn't come up with this. This was found out after I did some research and saw that other artists have used baby oil to blend colored pencils, and so I tried it out. And it is very cheap because you can get a bottle of baby oil for like $3 or less than that, and you really only need a really small amount, and it works fabulous. So basically how I use it is I just put down some pencil and very lightly, because when you put the baby oil down it makes the color look much darker than it looks when it's dry. And you know, that's kind of like if you use watercolor, you already kind of know this concept. When the watercolor dries on your paper, it becomes 2 shades lighter. And so yeah, when pigment is wet, it is darker than when it's dry, and the same thing with colored pencil. And it will stay that way because baby oil isn't water, so it doesn't evaporate. So I just put like a really small amount, very light with the pencil, and I blend it out with the Q-tip with a little bit of the oil. There are other products that I've heard of. Some have said they used paint thinner. But yeah, that sounds kind of dangerous and smelly and would probably end in a Mr. Bean moment. I don't know, if you guys have watched Mr. Bean, the movie, you hopefully know what I'm talking about. So I heard about the baby oil thing and I was like, alright, this sounds like the perfect solution for me, and it kind of is. And when I tweeted that previous drawing that I already showed you, the one that I liked, and I said in that tweet, I said I learned how to blend colored pencil, and wow, I love colored pencil even more now because I am a blending fanatic. I love blending my colors, and so now that I can blend colored pencil, it's like one of my favorite coloring mediums, to be honest. But as I mentioned in my previous video, the one that directly precedes this one, I like to live dangerously, and so with pretty much every single one of my illustrations, I often try out something new, something different to learn, and I think that's a really great way to learn. I think that I wouldn't have improved as fast as I have throughout the years if I didn't do that. I always love experimenting and trying new things, but oftentimes they don't work out very well. So in that previous drawing that I did with the blended color pencils, I used very warm colors, the reds and the yellows and a little bit of blue in the hair, and I kind of played it safe with the colors because I was mainly testing out the oil. But then when it came to this illustration, I wanted to do something very different. I wanted the colors to be darker and messier, but at the same time I still wanted it to be controlled, and that is the part where I kind of failed at, to be honest. The colors are kind of muddy in this illustration, which is something that can happen when you aren't very experienced with blending colors together. I may be a blending fanatic, but that doesn't mean that I am a master at blending colors yet, and oftentimes I mess up. And you know, once you start blending lots of different colors together, if you blend them too much, they can just all turn into this gross looking brown color, and that's kind of what happened a little bit in this illustration. I really regret using black, because I wanted like gray and silver, but at my set of colored pencils, I have the 24 set and it doesn't have a silver, so I tried to like use the black with a little bit of blue, and it came out not the way I wanted it to. Yes, that's what happens when you live dangerously, y'all. But hey, you know, it's the way of life. Can't live any other way, y'all. Yeah, if I could give any advice within this video, it'd be to don't be afraid of making mistakes and just trying out new things. I think that, you know, I've been drawing for like 3.5 years, and or at least drawing for real for 3.5 years, because every kid doodles. So like I doodled on my homework and stuff when I was younger, but it was never something that I was really serious about. It wasn't something I did every day, and it was something that I really cared about getting better at until 3.5 years ago. That's when I kind of really started getting into it, and I just I want to learn everything. So with every illustration, if I will always try something new out, and I think that that's a really great way to improve. You know, you will fail sometimes, and it is frustrating, but you know, it teaches you so much if you just go out on the cliff and just... No, that's a really bad example. I was about to say jump off the cliff, but guys, don't jump off a cliff. That's terrible, horrible. No, jump off the cliff in regards to your artwork. That's such a horrible way of putting it, Zaccura. Good job. But yes, just kind of dive into anything you're not used to, and just try it, and don't be afraid, and you will learn so much that way. After I was kind of finished with the pencil, I just put some final highlight details with my Jelly Roll pen, like I tend to do with every illustration. And that's pretty much it. And there is one last thing about the oil I guess I should tell you about, and that is it will bleed into the paper, because the paper will absorb the oil, but it will not bleed the color. I noticed that the color doesn't bleed out, but the oil does, as you can see here. And this probably has to do with using the sketchbook paper, which is what I was using, which is a very thin paper. I haven't really tried much yet on a thicker paper, but I did test a little bit, and it seems like it doesn't really bleed much on a thicker paper like cardstock. But I'm gonna save all that big review stuffs in the future video that I mentioned, where I actually draw something that I like and use the blended techniques and so forth. But for now, yes, just keep in mind that if you are blending colored pencil in your sketchbook with baby oil, the oil will bleed into the paper, causing a sort of outline of wetness around your drawing. And that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that it wasn't as great as it could have been, but I hope you enjoyed it in any way. And if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comment section. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. As always, the links to my social media pages are in the description box, where you can follow me for daily updates. And until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya! I'm not happy with darn motorcycle.